guys, this video is for our kindergarten through 4th grade team for November week 4. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's beautiful weather outside today. It's Friday, so this is so awesome. Thank you guys so much for serving this week. I can't believe we're already wrapping up the month of November. Christmas decorations abound at Oak Bridge, and it is going to be a great last few weeks leading up to Christmas. So to close out this month, we've been learning about the virtue of courage, being brave enough to do what you should do, even when you're afraid. And our memory verse for the month is, be strong and brave. Do not be afraid. Do not lose hope. I am the Lord your God. I will be with you everywhere you go. Joshua 1:9. So this whole month, we've been learning about people from the Old Testament who showed courage, Joshua and Caleb, David, Daniel, and this week we are learning all about Esther. Esther had no idea how God would use her when she was chosen to become the queen of Persia, but her cousin Mordecai reminded her that God put her in that role to rescue the Jewish people from Haman's plot. Esther knew what could happen if the king didn't approve of her asking for help. She could be put to death. But she knew how much more was at stake for God's people if she didn't try. Haman was trying to kill all of the Jews. And so if Esther didn't ask the king to put an end to that, then her and her people would have died. So she found the courage to go to the king and ultimately save her people. So our bottom line for this week is you can do what you should even when you don't know what will happen. We will all face moments in life when we need to take a risk. Those situations can feel terrifying. We might wish that we could crawl back into bed and hide, but more than likely, that won't be an option. Thankfully, we know that God is with us like God was with Esther. We might not know what will happen, but God does. We can trust God no matter what to give us the courage we need to face anything in life. And I think that is a great lesson for us and for our kids. So, jumping into our leader guide, we'd love for you to join us at 8:20 and 10:20 in the garage room for coffee and donuts and prayer. Just a way to say thank you. Then just make sure that you're to your small group area by 8:30 and 10:30. When kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, they can play with toys. They've also got their devotional coloring page this week, which just has our virtue for the month on the front of it, which is courage. Then at 9 and 11, when service begins, you can play a game of hot potato. Gather kids in a circle. You've got a beanbag on the bottom of your cart. You're going to start with one kid. Set your phone timer for 30 seconds. You can turn Christmas music on YouTube on the TVs in the room, or just use your phone, or you can just have it be silent. And when the timer goes off, the kid holding the beanbag is out. You're going to play several rounds, but you're going to change the time on your phone. So you can be 10 seconds, 12 seconds, 28 seconds, all different random times. And you're going to close by saying, you don't want to get caught with the beanbag, but you never knew when the timer was going to go off. So you guys were tossing the beanbag, throwing it around, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's really hard to do the right thing when you don't know what's going to happen in any second. We're going to go across the hall and hear about someone who had to be really brave, even when she had no idea what was going to happen afterwards. So then at 10 after, you will head across the hall to large group. When you get back from large group, you can pass out snacks. I think our older kids, there's still popcorn left in your room from last week. If you want to do popcorn instead of goldfish this week, you're always welcome to do goldfish. While kids are eating their snack, you're just going to sit in a circle. Give kids a few minutes to think about something coming up this week, something they're excited about, worried about, could be anything, and explain it on the count of 3. They're going to say it out loud, everybody at the same time. And then you're going to close in prayer, asking God to help, to trust Him that we can do what we should even when we don't know what can happen. And then there's a prayer there that you can use, or obviously you can just use your own prayer. Then to practice the memory verse, you can go over the memory verse, practice it with the motions a few times, and if you'd like to, you can play a little game. We've got these words from the memory verse on these Velcro dots that you can spread out on your floor. Oh, it's not focusing. So it says strong, brave, afraid, hope, Lord, God, everywhere go. So hopefully those keywords help. And the kids are going to take turns. You can line your crew up, and they'll go through one at a time, and they'll say their memory verse. So be strong and brave, and they're going to jump from dot to dot. Do not be afraid. Do not lose hope. I am the Lord your God. I am with you everywhere you go. And each kid will go through and say it. And then the second round, you're going to pull off 2 of these words from the Velcro dots. And then the kids will go through again. Then the third round, you'll pull off 2 more. They'll go through again until they're all gone, and they'll try to say the memory verse without any of the keywords on there. And then you can just close down your little memory verse activity by saying something like, I loved learning this verse with you guys. Wherever you go, whatever you do, no matter where the day takes you, God is right there to help you no matter what. And you can have courage even when you don't know how things are going to turn out. And then the last little activity, this is like a hot or cold game. So you're going to have one kid volunteer to go first, and you'll put the blindfold on that kid. And then you're going to hide. I didn't know what I was going to use. We're just going to use the beanbag that we used from Hot Potato at the beginning. You're going to hide the beanbag around the room. You can have one of the kids hide it. Since the kid is going to be blindfolded, it doesn't really have to be hidden. It can be under the table. It can be on the table. It can be just laying out on the floor anywhere. And then the kids are going to play warmer or colder, hot or cold to help the kid who's blindfolded find the beanbag. And they're going to have to give them a heads up when there's objects, like so they don't run into chairs and stuff. But they're going to try to find the beanbag in your room. And then when that kid finds it, if another kid wants to have a turn, you can play till all your kids have had the turn trying to find the beanbag. And then you'll just close it down by saying, this game took courage. You knew what to do. You knew what you were looking for, but you didn't know exactly what would happen or when you would find it. We usually know the right thing to do. Stand up for others, help people in need, work toward friendship, even in a challenging situation, ask for forgiveness, forgive others. But it's what happens right after that that is the big unknown. Will you find the reward? A new friendship, a peaceful playground, a good understanding with a teacher or classmate, or something not so pleasant? Sometimes doing the right thing can have scary consequences. Your friend could reject you, you could get made fun of, your teacher could misunderstand you. It's difficult, but you can be brave and do what you should even when you don't know what will happen. And then there's a couple of discussion questions if you want to talk with your small group about it. How much are you willing to risk to do the right thing? And what do you do if the right thing might cost you a friendship or privileges or getting what you want? So those are activities for this week. The arts team is going to be coming in, pulling kids back to make ornaments for the trees in your room. So that might be a little bit of a disruption. You can keep playing the other games while those kids are being pulled back to do their activities. But it is great. It's hard to believe that we are this far into our Bible timeline already. Last week was Daniel. This week is Queen Esther. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much for serving. Please, please, please be here on Friday night at 6:15 for volunteer appreciation. It is going to be awesome, and I would love for all of you to join us. Thank you guys so much for serving, and we'll see you on Sunday.